All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk real fast. And let me point something out to the Delphi YouTubers. Richard Allen's confession when his wife is in the room. A lot of people say she said one thing, she said another, she said one thing, she said another. I do believe that she said, "You told me you worked that day." And I'm going to show you something here real quick. And if you put caps, the caption on, you will see, "Well, don't worry about it, huh? Huh? You told me you work. So I just said you weren't there. You were at work." Probably, yeah. Yeah. Now, let's listen to it real quick with the captions. Oh, let me share it real quick. Let me put this in my chat. Copy down here. Paste. Copy. Paste. Copy. All right, now let's listen to this. I do believe that's what she does say. Let's listen to the whole thing. Matter of fact, let me see if it's in here. You know, another thing I want to point out, Richard Allen saying something. Let's listen to this first.
Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And I'm
what.
like,
All right, she just said there is a witness that they showed your photo to and said that was you. All right, let's continue real quick because it's coming up where she says to him, "You told me you worked that day."
how did they know it was you? And so they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were
them.
you on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing.
don't remember you telling me that. You told me. So I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
It doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it. Hon, huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I walked.
Bingo. Right there. Right there. She's sorry. She's sorry. Right? She's telling him she's sorry. She's sorry. And then she said, "You told me you worked." So the whole thing, right, is now really, really fishy. Hold on, Miss Justice Jane. He didn't tell her he was on the bridge. He didn't tell her he was on the bridge. He didn't tell her anything. He told her he had to work. The whole thing now is backfiring, right? But it don't mean he's guilty. Let's listen to it again.
Not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You
Hon,
told me you,
huh?
you told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. She is sorry. She is sorry. She had no idea he was out there. And she just said, "You told me you had to work." So well, he was there. He did lie to his wife. Either that or she's making this whole thing up and she was the killer, right? Very possible. But is that where the bullet came from? Very possible. I'm not sure, but this is damaging evidence. Why? Well, because she's caught now. She is caught. She's on camera. If they would have called her to the stand, they would have put this footage in front of her. And what are you saying to Richard? What did he tell you? Well, he wasn't there that day. He had to work. Yeah, bingo. So this was even damaging. Why? Because they could use this, and the police know that. They bring her in. It's all being filmed and recorded, and she just says what she wants. Right? For one, before she even walks into the room, they're questioning her. Why? Well, probably because there was other evidence there that might have pointed to a woman, possibly. Possibly. I don't know, right? But possibly. That's what they're saying. So they're already on her before she even goes in there and she even confesses it. They're questioning me. They think I was there. They think all this stuff, that I had something to do with this. And Richard's telling her, oh, no, 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 baby. No, 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 baby. Right? I was on the trail. And then she says, well, you told me you weren't on the trail. Oh, yes, I told you I was on the trail, but I didn't go on the bridge. Right? And then he changed his story, which when they bring her in, the next time he talks to her, oh, yes, I did. I told you I went on to that first pair. Right? And she's like, no, you didn't. You told me you were at work that day. Yeah. And this is damaging evidence if they bring her to the stand. Why? Because this is evidence. Right? She can say he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. But little does she know in the interrogation room, now if they call her to stand and she answers differently, well, now they can get her in uh, line and contempt of court and all that. And there's the proof, folks, that somebody's lying in this case. There's only two people that could have had that vehicle that day, right? And I don't know if you consider it a limited edition, which I probably would if it's a hatchback, black and tan interior. It's probably a limited edition, or there was only so many of them Ford Focus hatchbacks made, and they were only sold in certain areas in America. So let me see what my chat says. Wife Lilith here. She actually said, "You told me you walked the trails." No, you could see, or yeah, she might have said something like that. But then right here, I just showed you. She said, "You told me you worked that day, or you worked," when he didn't. So the whole lie was, he really at his mother's? Is my question. Right? It says, what is this saying? I don't know. Like, how do they know it was really you?
So they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were you
them.
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that.
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
It doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Right.
Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You told me you,
Huh?
you told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I walked.
All right, she just said, you told me you worked. That's what. And when she said that, what did he do? He shook his head like, son of a. Probably pissed, right? He was probably pissed. You told me you didn't work or you were at work. And that's when he shook his head. Yeah, you know, upset. Let's look at that one more time. And he also does that shitty smile on the side of his mouth.
So they said they showed her a picture. And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they seen me out there, they seen me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were you
them,
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I don't
thing that,
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
it doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Right.
Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You
Hon,
told me you,
huh?
you told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I was.
You can read the caption yourself. You told me you worked, so yeah, it ain't adding up. Can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. Send that crap back. We ain't buying it. Uh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back with more, what Justice Jane say. And I heard someone say he was asleep when he got home from work. Is that true? I don't know. I have no idea. What time did he get home from work? I mean, it's obvious she told the police. He said he was at work. He told me he had to work. It's obvious she said it's obvious he didn't tell her everything. I imagine he didn't say anything to her until he knew something was wrong, and then he might have said, "Oh yeah, well I was out there that day. I did call the police and tell them I seen somebody out there, or that was me out there," which probably shocked her. What? Wait, it's been 7 years, 6 years, uh, and now you're telling me this? So I don't know. Like I said, folks, there's only two people that could have had that vehicle. Now, whether it was Richard or his wife, Johnny, is that what changed your mind about RA? What changed my mind about RA was once we got the more voice stuff in, and once we heard his interrogation and the story change. Also, uh, there was a couple other things, but like I said, does his voice sound like Bridge Guy? Yes. Does but so do other people, and so do other people look like Richard Allen. So there was many people, even people that were involved in the Summer Wells case, were suspects. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but you folks, some of these people thought with closed minds. They didn't look at the whole situation of what was going on, and some of these people were led to some of these YouTubers just because what they were doing, right? What was going on, right, at that time. So there was many people that were suspects. Probably hundreds. Probably hundreds. Let me see what Justice Jane is saying. Folks, I posted this guy's channel that we're watching real quick uh, in my chat. Yes, his voice is a match. The van spooked him. Here's the thing with the van. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet because Richard, in one of his confessions with his wife, said, "Someone is with me." Now, Richard might be trying to say someone was with him that day and not someone was with him in jail. because his wife keeps saying, "Who's with you? Who's with you?" Right? And he says, "Someone's with me." Now, whether in his delusional mind he's trying to say, hint that possibly someone was with him. Now, whether it was in prison or with him at the murders, this is getting crazy. Hello, Miss Debbie Fox. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And a lot of people are missing what she's saying. Now, what do I think? I think they were questioning her and she's telling the truth. They thought they were questioning her like she was a suspect, right? Richard probably told the police she had the car that day, right? They probably came down on her pretty hard, right? Your wife had the car. The wife had the car. Send that back there. What is it, John Paul? Yeah, dealing with the Johns all over the. Yo, John Paul. But he already gave that his wife had the car, so they probably came down hard on her and questioned her. No doubt about it. They bring her into the into the interrogation room, and she's hysterical. They think I have something to do with this. They're questioning me. Yada 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 yada. Right? You didn't tell me you were there. The reason she's questioning him is because there's a good chance he didn't tell her anything. Right? He there's a good chance he didn't even tell his wife he was there that day and a witness, and he called in to the police. Right? He probably didn't even say anything to her. That's why she's questioning him with all this stuff. Is she found out the hard way through Jerry Holman interrogation techniques. And yeah, I imagine they came down on, and they had the right to, because we don't know how much DNA was at that uh, place. At this point, we don't know who it is, and we still don't to this day, because people are saying, "Well, Richard Allen he could be innocent." That's right, he could be innocent. He could say whatever, confess to anything he wants, but if the evidence don't match the crime or what's coming out of his mouth, then he's not the guy. Does that make sense to anybody? But there you go, folks. I don't know what more evidence that somebody lied, and this is where this is where they would use this in court, and they would ask him, "What did you say?" Right, and then Richard would tell them, or the wife would tell them, Richard was on the bridge that day at the. Oh, well, let's pull up the interrogation tapes when you and Richard were. Was that you asking Richard? Was he on the trail that day? Right, Richard. Oh yeah, it was me. It was me. I told you. Remember? No, I don't. You didn't tell me that. I don't. You might have, but I don't remember that. And right, was that you on the bridge? They showed someone the photo and everything. Right, they would have pulled this up and was that you asking or telling Richard? He said he was at work that day. Hmm. Not his mother's, not at the bridge. He was working that day. Well, that's a cover, right? That's a perfect cover. She's going to think he was working all day. She got home, he's sleeping on the couch. He must have worked. Maybe it was a pattern to Richard. So it's very interesting. Now, I will be back with some good points there, Justice Jane and Miss Debbie, uh, John Paul, and everybody. And God bless America. What do you think? Ooh, wife Lilith's here, which that's unbelievable. What did she say? She actually said, "You told me you walked the trails." I don't know. Watch it again, because from what I'm getting out of this, he told her he wasn't there that day, and she didn't know. I had no idea you were there. I had no idea you were there. You told me you worked that day, and this would have been damaging, damaging, damaging to the defense. This would have been. It's all over with, guys. Right? His wife is on camera confessing that he said he wasn't even there that day. She didn't even know he was there that day, and he was at work. Right? Well, either it's your client or it's his wife. Which one? Maybe it's a package deal. I don't know. We'll wait for the police to get done with this investigation because you know old Doug Carter. Right? A sketch is just a sketch of a photo of a sketch. And one day you will know what we know. But today ain't that day, baby. And it ain't. So praise them. They did their jobs right. All this stuff about the weapon, the shell case. They had to fire a weapon to get that and everything. And, well, if there was a bullet in evidence, no matter where that bullet came from, no matter what crime it was, they had a bullet of Richard's with markings on it, ejection marks. All they had to do was take another round, fire it. They would have gave him the ejection marks and other things. And it was a match. Now, whether it's a match to this crime, listen to Richard, right? Maybe Richard knows. Uh, there's no way my gun was used in this murder because he already knows that the girls were killed with knives, right? It's impossible. I didn't have my gun that day. Did you have a knife, Mr. Richard Allen, that day? Just for protection? I mean, you were going out there alone in case something happened. I mean, there's certain things he's singing and no one's listening. And it's a song called A Bunch of Bullcrap. And a lot of people might, even myself, fell for it at first. Why? Because I couldn't identify Richard Allen 100% that was him with the photos they had out of Bridge Guy. You had to rely on other evidence. Once more footage came out of Richard Allen's voice uh, on phone, yeah, it sounds like him. But like I said, so did a couple other people. You folk, the Richard Allen mob, still don't believe it. No, no, no. We paid the price, boy. They're hitting everybody. They're wiping us out. Right. They just keep making videos and going around. They can't. Even if they showed me the more proof, which I do believe they have more proof, proof that probably they can't show because we ain't done with this case. Right? We're not done with this case. I got a feeling that we ain't done with the Delphi case. I do believe there'll be more arrests. Within within uh, something else is coming in the Delphi case with some maybe withholding evidence or uh, obstruction of justice or stuff like that. You know that this should have never. Some of this it should have been put out to public. The autopsy, we won't know if any of it's true. What they said, the girls ate before they went to the bridge. Okay, the autopsy would tell us them girls ate at a certain time, or it would have told us that the food already went into the large intestines and small intestines, so the girls were alive a lot longer than what they thought. And at the last minute, the girls' lives were taken, and then they did whatever and left. That's very possible, but without knowing all of the autopsy, I thought they said they believe the girls were dead for 14 to 16 hours or something like that, or 12 to 16 hours. I don't know if that's true without seeing all the stuff, right? But it's already been leaked, some of it. So I don't know. Now, folks, prepare for storms. We got storms everywhere. I want to thank everyone for stopping in. God bless. Block whatever the is being sent evil or smoke. We don't want that smoke. I'll tell you that much. We got enough smoke being sent to us. We don't need no more. They've gone mad. If it ain't Ernie Shell going completely mad, uh, it's the Delphi case. It's Summer Wells case too, which a lot of people can't understand. How? What do you mean? There could be. Well, if it's a trafficking thing, they all could be connected. It could be exactly what the federal government was talking about. A lot of these channels might have been fronts. Just lookouts, fronts, attack people to attack them, diversion teams to go in and divert you away from things. Um, yeah, very crazy. It's like a Manson family. It's nuts. It's completely nuts. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? What do I think? I think it went sour. It went sour. I think Richard Allen's trying to tell the people or tell his wife that someone was with him. Now, whether Richard wants to come out and tell people that or not or whatever, but someone either was with him at the crime scene or someone was with him in the prison. So I don't hear anybody talking when he says someone's there with him. But I think somebody was there with him, meaning very well possible somebody else was at the murder with him. What if he rats on his wife? What if they get it? What if he's like, what if there is what these people think, that there was other people there or a woman involved or something, and he comes clean, right? Maybe he's telling his wife, you dirty bag, you set me up. Someone was with me. Let me see what Justice Sane's saying. Missing 1,317 days. Summer Wells from Rogerville, Tennessee. The Wells responded for 5 years old, missing around 6:30 p.m. on July 15th, 2021. She was last seen in a pink shirt. Yeah, there's a lot of people that thought, you hear Ernie Shell? No, he's telling everybody, I don't know nothing about any cases. Too late. You kind of told everybody in the Summer Wells case that you knew exactly what happened and you solved the case. I mean, and so many others. I don't understand these people. I don't. Like I said, you can confess to a lot of stuff, but if the evidence ain't there, then you got the wrong guy. Right? Like I was telling people, Richard can confess to anything, but if that's not his voice, and that's not evidence that shows he had something to do with it, and that wasn't around, right? It's pretty common sense, and I ain't no rocket scientist. I'll tell you that. The whole thing, these people throwing a big stink about ballistics. Here's the thing: they got a bullet from the crime scene. It was locked away in a storage unit or a police lockup evidence room. They got his weapon. They fire the weapon. They match it with the bullet that was at the crime, whatever crime it was. And it matched. It probably matched the bullet that was left there. Now, whether she did it or he did it or three people were there, who knows? One day we'll know, as Doug Carter says. You want to know. what we know. And one day you will. I hope so. Good God, I'm getting old. I'm in my 50s. I hope to God you let us know, Doug. One of these days, I hope somebody lets us know. Is it a cover up? Very possible. Was he a Lee Harvey Oswald? Very possible. I couldn't say it was 100% Richard with the bridge guy video, especially when there's a good chance the video and the photos we were seeing were not proper stuff. It's been edited or a YouTuber put out a sketch. This is what Bridge Guy looked like. We've seen many of them channels. So anything is possible. I on this channel I couldn't say that was Richard Allen from the face. The walk, different story, which a great YouTuber got that also on camera. Miss Zap Girl caught his gait on her channel coming in to the investigation room. And gates don't go away. Not unless the gate was computer generated. Dun, dun, dun. Not sure. But he did have a gate, even though he was walking on the bridge. Uh, the way his feet pointed out when he walked. Uh, yeah, yeah. The way he held himself, uh, shoulders, hands in pocket, which a lot of people don't even think his hands were in the pocket because the whole thing was edited. And it very well might have been. It very well might have been. To cover up what? I don't know. Something big. Somebody. I mean, if this is a huge secret organization, Freemasons, well, that explains it. If it's a giant biker meth club or whatever, that explains it. If it's a child pedo ring with a bunch of sickos that might be in drugs, might be in gangs, might be in the Odins, then yeah, I can see. Might be Mason. Then I can see how it got covered up, maybe. I don't know. What do you do, right? How can we fight this? Probably not. It's a secret society. We're probably all dead, and they're using their great witch voodoo king to keep us alive, so they don't go to prison for the rest of their year. I've seen it all. I know what it is to lose a lot of stuff and your freedom. That sucks. I'm still in a world of lies and deceits and everything, trying to figure out what's real and what's not. I don't know. It's crazy. You folks have a great day. Thank everyone for stopping in. I'll be back with more info on the Delphi case.